Hi, this is AverageJohn coming at you with another video of what I have read this week. Now, I read 10 comic books. I read 10 comic books this week. All rated, Marvel, DC, got Zenescope, all those. It's just a blast reading them. Have you read? Well, the question I pass to you guys all the time is, have you read anything new or anything that you like this week or recently? Even post that in the comments down below, and I'm gonna go into 10 comic books that I have read this week, and hopefully you like them and start to get into them, or just it's 10 books I've read this week. Hopefully I'm gonna quit talking about that. But yeah, and if you like this video, just like and subscribe, of course. But without further ado, before I start talking some more news myself, and this is my notebook right here. Of course, I have that with me because I take a lot of notes and all that stuff. But without further ado, like I said, I'm going off script here. That's probably why why I'm struggling to find words. But it's okay. We'll get through it together. We can do this. Alright. So, first one I have is X-Men #1. X-Men #1, it'll be in 2021. It's by, of course, Marvel. It's a pretty good comic. Now it has a young Nikola Tesla in it, and how his parents, along with all this money, abandoned him when he was very young. But mainly it focuses on Scott Summers, who is to become Cyclops, as many of you know. He's guarded by his older brother Alex Summers and Elektra. He's guarded by them, and instead of the X-Mansion, now they have a treehouse in the middle of Central Park, New York. Basically they're protecting Alex does get sent out on a mission with Wolverine and Polaris. They do find out there is this healing guard. They do know there's a healing guard in the Krakos. There's a resurrection pit at the Arbor. But yeah, so Alex and the gang, they're all to stop this giant eyeball that hit the city. Basically, it just turns out to be an alien, kind of, and they're there to stop the alien. The aliens look like they're attacking. They're to stop the alien before it's too late. Yes, they start getting everyone, and they start having a big battle and stuff like that. But that's the synopsis of X-Men #1. It's 2021. Next one I have is Legion 94. Legion 94. This was made. This Legion 1984. This is number 70. This is made. Shocker. 94. It was made by DC Comics. And the full synopsis of the story is Stratus quit. Gazer ran off. Those are two heroes. Story of Quark and Weed Mines. And and try to. They run after. They run after a child. And turns out one of them is being controlled. Aha! I didn't see that one coming, but yeah, one of them is being controlled. That is a mysterious thing, and starts killing everyone. Ooh. It's a great comic. It's a great comic. Sometimes my notes don't do very well. But anyway, next one we have Legionnaires number 65. Number 65, Volume 1. This not made in 1984, this made in 1998 by, of course, DC. And the synopsis is there's the alien gang that's embezzled some L.E.G.I.O.N, which is a grain from L.E.G.I.O.N pirates. And so this team of Legionnaires tries to stop them. People like Brainiac and all that stuff. Brainiac, Kid Quantum, Hugo, Coco, Monstrous, Nas, and Dirk. And the Karate Kid and Element Lad. And Spark. And I and Lori. Owning Excess. And about their Barla's the United Planet now. Barla was the planet that the pirates were coming from. But of course, how are the Legionnaires going to stop the pirates and trying to get all that stuff back? Find out. Alright. So, I swear I had this whole thing. There we go. Alright, so the next thing I have written down in my notes, I got Orca. That's Omac. Why did I say Orca? That always says Omac. Omac. Omac number 3, Volume 3. It's made in 2006 by DC. Yeah, it takes place in all the Nords. You got Nord, Alaska, Nord, Colorado. Yeah. But what is Omac? Well, Omac are names of a bunch of cameras that have to do with the Brother Eye project. What is Brother Eye? Well, Brother Eye is a program where Batman put in place where he basically made a whole bunch of cameras to spy on the superheroes of the DC universe. Now, most of the cameras were all connected. They've all been destroyed except for one who has free will. That's the titular Omac. And he's got free will. Now, all the other cameras get destroyed except for him. Now, what are his ventures? What is he going to do further outside the thing? Now, are the other heroes going to trust him? What's going to become of Batman? Who knows? Who knows? Next, we have. I'll say this without. I'll we have unlimited access by both Marvel and DC. It's unlimited access number 2, volume 1. Now this is made by both Marvel and DC. This is the second one of their crossover events, crossover specials. And it's pretty cool. It's about this dude named Access who can travel between both the universes, the DC and the Marvel. And he has to keep moving in between them because if he stays in one place too long, it causes crossovers to happen. And you got, and that's how you end up with like Batman meeting Daredevil, how the Justice League of America is fighting the Sentinels of X-Men, vice versa. And how Darkseid and Apocalypse are both looking for access. And he's gained their attention. How the Avengers and the Justice League, regular Justice League, are going to stop them. But yeah, Access, you can't stay in one place for too long. Otherwise, crossovers happen, and he doesn't necessarily have control of his powers, so not only he's gone between the two universes, but he's also going in between the past and the future. That's that the Justice League of America is fighting the Sentinels of the X-Men, but they're in the Days of Future Past timeline, where they're not supposed to be at all. So what's going to happen? I have to read more to find out. And next, we have Robin 3. You see, you have Robin 3. The Cry of the Huntress. Part 1 of 6. And this is Volume 1. This was made in 1982 by DC Comics. DC. Now there's a lot of gang attacks going on. It's got Batman pretty stretched out. So Robin has to go on a lot of missions alone. And so this gang war coming out. There's a gang war going on. There's this biker gang called the White Wolves, which are just a bunch of Nazis, pretty much. And you get the Russian mob going and attacking this one person's restaurant. And Robin swoops in to save the day. Then he runs into this Russian man and the KGB. Who is the KGB? So it's pretty much the Russian equivalent of being penetrable, unstoppable, impenetrable. Yeah, what's going to happen? Find out. Part 2. Sorry, I keep looking this way, but I have a camera that's that way. So I'm just looking over. One day I'll get used to it. One day I will. One day. There we go. Next up, we have Mutant X, number 8, volume 1, made in 1999 by Marvel. See, I tried to put it to my laptop. Camera's right here. But anyway, so it says the Vice President Robert E. Kelly, right? Yeah, President Star, this is of the United States. And basically, it's a Goblin Queen who can use mind control, and she actually, that's not important, but she kills the president and makes the vice president the new president. And so with the vice president under her control, the government queen's control, because he wanted to be president, what's going to happen now? So, short synopsis for Mutant X. And next, we have Grimm Fairy Tales presents Realm Knights. This is the one shot. It's by Zenescope. This is made in 2014. What it is, it's a bunch of like highborns, a bunch of fairy tales, and they're pretty much just fighting, cleaning up this company's messes. That's what they're putting as. So the company is Hero Corp. Got Van Helsing, you got Nathan Cross, you got Neptune. Yes, that Neptune. And you have Kira Cameron, Brittany Waters, Sel Mathers, and Jessica Campo. Of course, one of them goes rogue, kills them all, and never even get to really see a beast. One of them goes rogue. Of course, tries to run away with Agent Helsing. And where does it go from there? Do they succeed in killing the company that really made them? And then we got Star Trek. Star Trek number 29, Flight 1, made in 1986. This is by DC Comics. And basically, there's this planet that they want to explore, but is virtually uninhabitable, at least by humans anyway. There's a whole bunch of magnetic storms that makes it impossible to land or scan. And of course, they send a few down there. They have to basically drop them in there. And they kind of go explore it. And, its inhabitants find them. The apes. So they have to go into this cave. They have to go into this cave and find out how do they survive and how do they not piss off the apes that they have somehow made mad. How do they do that? How do they have diplomacy in a planet like this or whatever? And last but not least, you have Punk Mambo number 0, made by Valiant in 2014. Of course, there's this girl named Punk Mambo. She's a voodoo queen, a British voodoo queen who lives in the Bayou of Loiusiana. And one day she just gets up and decides to have revenge on everyone who turned her into the voodoo mistress or took advantage of her when she was young and just getting into punk rock and stuff. So she goes to London. She extracts all of her revenge. She goes to the 2 people that sold her to this dude named Joe Mayhem, who is this voodoo guy, voodoo immortal guy who feeds off the energy of the youth. That's pretty good stories. They're very unique, very unique art. In fact, out of all that I've read this week, I must say Punk Mambo is my favorite. It's just my favorite. And I would recommend Punk Mambo to a lot of people because you just don't hear about voodoo stuff, and it sounds more realistic, I guess. And it's got punk rock, got a version of the Sex Pistols mentioned here called the Sex Pistoles, I think. Yeah, it's really good. I'm into it, and I might get more issues on it. Might read through. Right, well, what did you read this week that was really good or stuck out to you, or this week recently at all? And if you have read any of these books I mentioned, what was your favorite? And you can tell me in the comments down below, or my socials are also in the description. Yeah, my socials, yeah. My Instagram's at TRIPL3XX My Twitter is at RealAverageJohn. My Facebook is at OfficialAverageJohn. Don't worry if you can't understand me on here. Like I said, everything's down in the description down below. Now, with all of that out of the way, I hope you guys have a nice night. Like, comment, and subscribe on this video if you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys when I see you.